Hey Cindy, hey Deborah, hey Colin, what's going on? Good afternoon. Right, I had to think about that for a second. Just killing a little bit of time waiting for more people to come on, and then we will start heading in. Christine, what's happening? How are you? Good afternoon. Hey Kayla, glad you were actually able to catch a live. That is awesome. How are we today? Hope you go on safari. Well, we'll see what the wait times are like. I have no idea. I did not go in the park. I did not check my phone for anything. You can tell it's a beautiful day. You see all these people here in shorts. Well, not that couple. They got pants on. But everybody else is on shorts today. The high is 87, I believe, today. 87 degrees. Currently, probably about 78, I'd say, right now. Ah, and 5 Mondays. That's awesome, Karen. You guys are going to have such a rad, gnarly time. Krista, what's happening? Hello, how are you? All right, you guys ready to start this live stream? You guys ready to start going in? 10 minutes. Awesome. Maybe we'll have to do that. You guys ready to go in? Ready to do this? Oh, yeah. I got to do an introduction. What's going on, everybody? Tony here. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tony from Tip of the Ears. I'm a local here in Orlando. Animal Kingdom is the closest to my house, probably about 20-25 minutes. I love Disney. Lisa loves Disney, but Lisa is not here with me right now. She's at work. Somebody's got to work and make money. And a little bit about me. I love Disney, as I said, but I go against the grain of Disney as well. I'm soon to tell you how good something is, but I'm soon to tell you how something is completely terrible. And I think completely sucks about Disney. But I do love Disney at the same time. Not everything is always sunshine and rainbows. It keeps me a little bit against the grain, I guess you could say. But I like to be honest and I like to keep it real. So if I do say something that is terrible, I will have a reason as to why I think. Some may agree, some may disagree, but that is okay. Because that's how this goes, right? Can't agree about everything. So let's go in this park. We are gonna have a rad time. We're just gonna walk around. We're gonna take a look, see what the crowd levels are like, see what's happening. It's a beautiful day, like I said, here in Florida. It's gonna be about a high of 87. It's currently roughly, I'd say about close to 80 degrees right now. No pants, got my shorts on. Let's have a rad time. Let's go in. Hello, good afternoon. How are you? Not too bad. Ooh.
Can I just scan your band real quick?
Oh yeah.
For whatever reason, it's not reading your park pass.
Might be the
That's okay. Let me look.
might be the band.
That's okay. Is it Anthony?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, at least that's a good sign, right?
Yeah. That's always good.
Yeah. Let me see if my iPad will work because it's being a diva. Ah, okay. Let me try to refresh this super quick. And I know, honestly. I always have the technology that goes like kooky.
It's
Okay.
great when it wants to work.
Yeah.
You know?
And the rest of the time you kind of just want to like throw it into the
Yeah.
business, you know?
That's we love technology.
Okay, take two. We're gonna rescan. Perfect. Okay. That looks good. Super weird. I don't know. Is this the email you're still using?
Yes, it
okay,
is.
Perfect. It only has your studio's reservation for February 27th on there right now, but that's okay because I got your Animal Kingdom one covered for today because we've got tons of availability. So I just did it right now.
I thought I know I made the Hollywood. I thought I made this as well.
I believe you. All good. Go ahead and scan again.
Let's try again. My apologies.
No, all good. Have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
A little bit of a technical difficulty. But we're in. Super nice cast members today. Hi from a cold, snowy UK. That sounds terrible. But hello from a beautiful Orlando. Aren't you guys like getting snow or something like that soon in the UK? I hate the snow. Like, it's pretty to look at, but it's just terrible to drive in. I've wrecked so many cars in the snow. Of course, I was back in Pennsylvania when I lived there, up towards Philly. And you're just surrounded by mountains. So you gotta go down mountains in the snow, in the ice, at night, in the black ice. Those are rad times, let me tell you. Ugh. Run, Kayla, run from the snow. Come to Florida. It's beautiful. See if my anteater is out today. I feel like I haven't been to this park in a minute. It's been quite a long while since I've been here because I've been hanging out at Epcot and Hollywood Studios. But I haven't been to Animal Kingdom in what feels like, I don't know, at least a month. Because I've been going everywhere else. That and Universal as well. My anteater is not out today. That's okay. Keep it moving. Maybe we'll also check out and see what's going on with Gorilla Falls. Because I heard they're closing half of that off. Or it might be closed, half of it closed off already. Due to not as busy, so you can't see all the animals that you would. So maybe we'll see what's going on there. And the Tree of Life. Sweet man, sweet. Island Mercantile is open, so if you guys know us, that's always the first shop we always go into. I'm not gonna make it any different. I'm going in it. I love the Island Mercantile. It's a new 80s collab shirt. It's pretty rad. I do like the 80s, especially with this So Classic. Reminds me of Saved by the Bell.
Even though it's going to say warranty, so still better.
So if I'm not seeing anything crazy new. Yeah, all this stuff has been here for a while. Nothing new at all. Yeah, it is cute. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It's just, it's old. They're gonna start moving some of this stuff to the warehouse. No more Christmas merchandise. No. I'm pretty sure all that's been sold off. And if anything is left, it would be at World of Disney. Since the holidays were over, they were running a massive, massive sale of 70% off holiday merchandise and holiday decor, holiday everything. That's why we didn't see much of the holiday merchandise at the character warehouse, because let's be honest, the warehouse will give you like 50% off. You know, that's what it normally is. But if World of Disney or the Disney parks are running 70% off, which one are you rather gonna go to? Lisa loves this lounge. I told her one day maybe I'll get it for her. One day. Maybe. I like this little plushie though. There's something about it, it's just so cute. Let me tell you, Animal Kingdom has like the best music besides Epcot. Yeah, that's true, Krista. You were able to stack that, so you could use your 70 plus your 20. Let's go this way. Normally I go to the left and we go right into Pandora, but we're hanging out today. We are casual Disneying. That's what I like to call it. Low crowds, man, so far. Pizza Safari is still a relaxation station. Yeah, that's 100% true. It was pretty much like getting it free. So it didn't make any sense to move it to the warehouse. You know what I mean? That's why we didn't see it there. Little odds and ends stuff, but nothing at all. If anything comes to the warehouse with holiday, it's just overstock that they just couldn't get rid of. And that'll probably show up within a month. If it even would. Is the little monkey out today? I doubt it. Seems like all the animals are being lazy today. Nope. There's no little monkey. It's all right. Yeah, Laura, we wish you were here too, hanging out, having a good time. Let's go straight. I'm really excited about these crowds right now. Stroller parking is that way for Kilimanjaro. You know what? It does say 10 minutes. Who wants to rock and roll on Safari? 10-minute wait. That's pretty much a walk on. That queue is so big. Is anybody opposed to the Safari?
Yeah, that's how I felt the other day. Open traffic time, they had a delivery opening. Oh, yeah.
Ah, we're going. Cindy made the decision for everybody. We are going. Let's time this 10 minutes starting now. Everybody set your clock. 10 minutes. Let's see. Hopefully I don't lose any streamage. Not on the Safari, I don't lose it there, but inside these little housings, I should say. But if so, it should be relatively quick that we pop back on.
So join us in Kilimanjaro Safaris for the experience of life. When it comes to safaris, we go wild. Thank you for calling Sunset.
One of the largest and most beautiful animal parks you will visit anywhere. Our mission is to conserve and protect.
Oh, I see it. I think I see the 10-minute stoppage just right in front of us here in this hut.
Today,
I think.
Kilimanjaro Safaris will take you on a journey into the heart of the reserve to see some of the many remarkable animals that call Savannah home. Seeing animals in their natural habitat can be one of the most rewarding and memorable experiences of your life.
For the health and safety of everyone, eating and drinking are not permitted while in line. Face coverings must fully cover your nose and mouth and be worn at all times while in line and on the attraction. Guests that do not comply will be asked to leave. Please abide by the queue markings, maintain physical distancing, and use the hand sanitizer dispensers provided. Thank you.
I still think this plexi idea is so weird. Like, I understand when they first had it, I understand what they were doing with it, but it's like, there's an opening.
We are almost ready to board you.
You know what I mean?
Safari vehicle.
Plexi,
I wanted to make certain I
but there's an opening. We got the last row, which I love, because if we miss an animal, we just turn around. I love the back row. Still got all these type of plexis, I guess I'd call it.
Sandy Soderwarden, thank you. All right then, friends, twin day. Let's go.
Let's go.
So jumbo and welcome aboard once again. My name is Kylie. I'll be your safari guide throughout the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now the terrain ahead does get very bumpy, and if you look down, you'll realize there are no seatbelts attached to you. So please make sure you stay seated at all times, keeping arms, hands, legs, and feet inside the vehicle. Little ones are more than welcome to sit on your laps if you fear they won't be able to see. We just ask that you don't hold them up in the air or pass them around like a hot potato.
That would be
Also
funny.
a friendly reminder that face coverings must stay on properly throughout this entire adventure. That is for your safety and the safety of those around you. Now we'll get started on this adventure in just a couple moments. We do need to wait for the warden to give us an all clear to head into the reserve. But for now, you can take a look above your heads at your animal spotting guide. Those are some of the animals that live out here on the reserve, so that can help you identify a few as we travel through. These are wild animals, so keep that in mind. They have a mind of their own with different sleeping, different migratory habits. There is never a guarantee on what we find. But we do get some pretty good luck. So without further ado, we are gonna start exploring in the Little Aturi Forest. Now, forest animals are generally a little shyer than others, but the okapi on your right is coming over to say hello. The okapi is the only relative actually of the giraffe, not the zebra, despite those beautiful legs. The more you look at her face, the more you see it though. She even has the two ossicones on top of her head. They look like antennas. Now, since animals are pretty shy here in the forest, they'll all have a natural color coat just like her. Brown, tan, gray, helps them to blend in with their surroundings. I do see a couple more friends just up ahead at this hillside, nearby the watering hole, which is a social gathering place. A lot of animals kind of gather here for water. Now, the tan antelope you see is the greater kudu. She's the second to tallest antelope in Africa.
Over this
She's
one.
about 5 foot. There's also a black and white feathered bird you might notice through the leaves. It's a saddle-billed stork. They're about 4 foot. Now, someone else is over here, though, on your left against the wall, taking a big nap. This is the black rhinoceros.
Just sleeping. Look at them being lazy.
Around the world, black rhinos are the smallest. So he weighs about 3,000 pounds, but still able to run 30 miles per hour. Off to the right, those are bongos, the ghost of the forest. Not only do they blend in really well with their surroundings, when they walk, they make really calculated footsteps, and you can see those slanted back horns, which really help to push the shrubs down in the area so they can run fast. Well, it looks a little quiet throughout the rest of the forest. So let's make our way down to the Safi River. That's home to some more aquatic animals, so hopefully we see some swimming around. Let's go look. In the corner off to the right, you might be able to notice a couple of hippos actually. If you're not getting a good view now, that's okay. We'll try a little further ahead. There's a lot more of the river. They do spend just about 16 hours of their days under the water though. They do have super sensitive skin, getting burnt really easily. A couple of birds here, but they're not actually from Africa. They're here on a vacation, like most of you all. But there are a couple more hippos over here, it looks like. Now these birds on the island, those are pink-backed pelicans. They actually get the name because their backs change to the color pink during mating season. Now it's hard to tell how big those hippos are, but they're about 5,000-pound animals actually, so they weigh more than the black rhino you just saw. You can see more underneath the waters. They walk on the floor because they are very heavy, so they don't swim too well. They do kind of sink and they have to bounce off of their feet to travel. Now, as we're coming around the river bend, it looks like there are some Nile crocodiles that lay beneath us too. Longest living reptiles of the world. Each one is about 16 foot long, and they're very still because their camouflaging technique is to try and look like a tree log in the water. They're also ectothermic animals. They rely on their surroundings to regulate their body temperature. The scales on their backs are just like solar panels, actually. But out of the forest we go completely over to some Serengeti grasslands. home to giraffes, elephants, lions, cheetahs, warthogs, rhinos, zebras, and ostrich. Oh my. It is commonly referred to, though, as the savanna, and it truly is home to millions of migratory animals every year. We're just about to pull up to the Savannah Overlook, which is one of my favorite views in this entire reserve. You get the gorgeous look of the land, and as we travel down, you'll maybe see a few animals out there too. Catch a sneak peek. Now the animals are all scattered around, so we'll talk about most of them as we get closer. So, first up, you'll see the dazzle of Hartman Mountain Zebras. Now, Hartman Mountain Zebras are one of 3 kinds. They have the solid black nose, which does represent their base color, meaning they are black with white stripes. The white-bearded wildebeest laying down there are their cousins, and if you notice, they lay down facing different directions. They've got a 360 view on their surroundings. They quite literally always have each other's backs. Looks like one of the giraffes is munching on some food with the zebras too. This is an adult, so it's about 16 to 20 foot tall. But before we get closer, if you look over the left really quick, there are some African wild dogs laying down. Now these are the most successful predators in all of Africa. They actually work together really well. They just run their prey to pure exhaustion, giving them a 90% success rate. That is insane to think about because lions are only known to be 7% successful when they hunt. Cheetahs get like a 30% chance. Now there are some prey that should also never be messed with. The sable antelope. They're over there on your left with those curved horns. They use those like swords, just as they are now. So they squat down onto the ground and they know that no animal is gonna jump on top of them. So they will stand up and fight for their lives when most prey run away. Now these weird orange mounds that you'll see all throughout the savannah are called termite mounds. They are home to tens and thousands of termites, which really does kind of creep me out. But they're made of soil, saliva, and dung, and can actually dry to be as hard as concrete, which is really cool. That means larger animals like giraffes or rhinos can use them as scratching posts. And when they file them down to a shorter size, small animals can stand on the mound then and gain height to see what's going on around them easier. Now, speaking of small, one of these zebras over here is a baby, and you'll get a pretty good look here on your right. Couple of months old. Now, if you're looking at those giraffes' patterns, they are really rugged edged. That's how you know it's the Maasai giraffe. There's actually 7 different kinds around the world. The Maasai giraffes are unfortunately the most critically endangered of their kind, but that's why they're here, to be protected. The one on your spawning guide up on your heads is actually the reticulated giraffe. Those patterns are more straight-edged. They're actually found by Animal Kingdom Lodge nowadays, so you could go over there and explore, spot the difference. But we're traveling to the other side of the savannah because there seem to be a couple more animals over here. On the right near that road, the springbok, 3-foot-tall antelopes that still jump 6 feet up in the air. Their name literally translates to springing buck. Also, some Ankoli cattle who grow the largest set of horns in the world. Except they're not as heavy as you think. They're really hollow. The inside is filled with hundreds of blood vessels that pump blood and regulate body temperature. They're really hollow. Weigh no more than 8 pounds to each side of the head. A couple more giraffes are just up ahead here though, so you'll get a really nice view. See if you can catch a glimpse of those tongues. They are almost 18 inches long. It's how they really get into some of those leaves. It's long enough to poke their own eyes out if they wanted. But they love to eat. They will eat for almost 20 hours a day, actually. They do have 4 stomachs, so they want to feel nice and full. They also only sleep for 30 minutes in their entire day, so they have a lot of time on their hands to walk around, look for food, smell the roses, enjoy the breeze. Now over here you'll notice a lot of knockdown trees, which means the African elephants are nearby. They're kind of like bulldozers. They knock the trees down so they can eat the vegetation from the top of them. Looks like they wandered over a little far off to your right there. You might notice monkeys firstly though on your left, mandrills, and if you look by this tree in the middle, you'll notice Olive, who's a 3-month-old baby girl.
Ah, they're never
They
out.
have really colorful faces though, just like your friend Rafiki from The Lion King.
They're never out. Lisa's gonna be so mad because every time we go on this, they are never out. Look at, there's a
Now,
baby,
males
the little
can grow
baby
up to be
there.
almost 100
Just
pounds.
look at it.
Linus is sitting up there on the rocks. And it does make them the largest monkey in the world, but that means nothing compared to the 10,000-pound neighbors that will come over here to get a good look at. Now, African elephants pretty much just spend their days eating too. They need to gather actually almost 500 pounds of vegetation a day. That's about how much you gather in a whole year. Now, unfortunately, they are critically endangered. 500 pounds of food is getting a lot harder for them to reach in the wild due to deforestation, the cutting down of trees, their main food source, and mining. We dig up their homes a lot because there's this mineral called coltan, which is really valuable to us. It's used for batteries, like in cars and in cell phones. So, if you're able to switch to electric vehicles or to recycle old cell phones, that can actually really help out some of the elephants. But recycling in general is always a great first step. Now, thankfully, their territory out here on the reserve is really large, so we're heading to the other side to search for a couple more elephants. Looks like we're in some red clay pits too, which elephants often gather around here so they can eat the clay. You'll notice signs of them like tusk marks against the walls and footprints along the ground. This red clay holds a lot of added minerals that they don't always find from their diet. It's like a multivitamin. Looks like a couple more just beyond those rocks, so we're gonna go get a little closer. Now, if you ever want to figure out how old elephants are, the easiest way is just to look at the size of their tusk. The bigger the tusk, the more wisdom is to be held inside. So the older they are. And you know, they prefer a side, just like you and I are right-handed or left-handed. Elephants are right-tusked or left-tusked. Now, they do use those for a lot of different things, like poking holes into these tree trunks here. They're baobab trees. The trunks hold almost 500 gallons of water. But the trunks are what they use the most. You can see they're grabbing a couple of bites to eat, but they can also use the trunks to pull tree branches down, pick flowers, drink water, throw mud on the back. It's just like having a hose as a nose. Looks like a couple more up ahead by the watering hole, so we're gonna go visit them over there. Remember, it's a social gathering place. So she's throwing some mud onto herself, as you can see. And it's just like throwing some sunscreen on. They do have super sensitive skin, so she's doing a good job keeping herself healthy. Now, the flamboyance of flamingos have claimed this spot on the island. These are actually greater flamingos, to be a bit more specific. They're the tallest, biggest, and lightest pink color of their kind. Now, if you look closely, some of them are actually white with black and gray feathers. Those are a couple of the babies that are just about a year old, although it does take a flamingo 2 years to turn completely pink. They eat a lot of brine shrimp because there's this mineral called beta-carotene that their bodies absorbs and then changes their feathers. It's like magic. But they're a very social bunch, as you can usually see and hear. But we are going to travel through the east side of the savannah next. It's home to some other pretty cool animals, so let's figure out who's out and about. Now there's a large mud wallow to the left, which you can tell rhinos have been rolling around in for the exact same reason the elephant was throwing mud onto herself, except since rhinos don't have trunks, they roll in the mud like farm pigs. I don't see them right now, but they may be relaxing at another part of the reserve. It is a really nice day out, so keep your eyes open for them. And up ahead here to the left, because this is usually home to a few cheetahs, so you can imagine how well they blend in with their surroundings. Work together. Looks like there's one right behind these rocks you might see as I pull forward a bit more. There seems to be a couple more further ahead too. Now these are the fastest land animals of the world. They use their sleek and muscular bodies to get to 60 miles per hour or 97 kilometers per hour in 3 seconds. There's one in the top right corner. Now they're pretty special. They are the only big cat that actually does their hunting in the day. They also do not roar. They meow like house cats, which is kind of adorable. But there are some other big cats that live out here in Africa. Ones that do like to roar. Lions. Although they are nocturnal animals, as you can see. Boy is up there on those rocks taking a nice cat nap, which is what he does for almost 20 hours. But look at those paws as they hang over the edge. One of his paws is about the same size as your face. So they are big. Let's see if we can find any of the females around here. They're actually the ones, you know, that go out at night and do most of the hunting. Male lions typically stay back at the territory so they can protect it and any of the cubs. Looks like we actually did get to find a couple white rhinos though. They're snuggled up in the corner over there. We might get a better view of them later, not sure. They're really tucked in there. There's also a cute little bontebok roaming around, which is sadly extinct in the wild. But we will get closer to him shortly. Now, if you've never joined us for an evening safari, I definitely recommend it. You do get to see the lions a lot more active. Like I said, this is pretty much just what they do, but they do love these rocks. He gets a really nice look out of this territory from up there. But we'll let him rest. Let's head back over to those other animals and stop along the way to say hi to my personal favorites, the warthogs. I mean, they're just like a cute hairy rock. They do have a struggle very similar to giraffes, though their heads are a bit big for their bodies. So you can see her going down to her elbows to eat her food. Those tusks sticking up in the air are also very sharp. It's how they would defend themselves and how they've created all those holes running along the ground. They're called burrows. That's where they call home. Now this bontebok that we are seeing once more, it is only found on reserves because they do face a lot of poaching for their coats. They almost look purple when the sun shines on them. And it looks like she's doing a nice job babysitting for those ostrich eggs laying down there. I don't really even see any ostrich nearby, but they're communal layers. They put all their eggs in one nest and take turns watching them. And it's also an easy way to keep track of where they are because their eyes are bigger than their brains. So take that as you will, but whoever is responsible now could be walking around, grabbing a couple of bites to eat. Seems to be in good hands with the bontebok there. All right, well, we are reaching the edge of the savannah, my friends, so we are getting into the last leg of our journey. But we have seen some really awesome animals: giraffes and elephants, rhinos and lions.
We've seen
Now,
Pumbaa and
remember,
Rafiki.
all these animals are endangered. They're on this reserve, so they can be protected, and they do need a lot of help. But as some of the animals are here, they've turned around and helped us right back. So since we're at the outskirts of the reserve, we'll be driving by the warden's post, which
I
is
feel all of
managed
this
in a
is
way
new.
so we can live in harmony with the
new-ish.
animals. So home to Nigerian dwarf goats. They are
Oh,
adorable.
yeah, this is new.
They pretty much
The
just
goats
spend
weren't
their
here for a
days
while.
eating, sleeping,
This is all newish.
But we are trying to kind of balance wildlife and civilization, and they do such an amazing job. They help clean a lot of the weeds in the area. They love to eat them, and the milk they produce, it's the most nutritious and it's the most valuable, which means village communities don't need to rely on wildlife for resources that these goats can efficiently provide for them. And that's the goal. We're just trying to share this one-of-a-kind planet, and we do not live on it by ourselves as we've just experienced. We do need to work together, and there are a lot of different ways that you can start helping these animals and the planet. Ways you've heard of before: recycling, using reusable bags, cups, straws, water bottles, turning the lights off, planting gardens. Like I mentioned, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but if we work together, these small things can really add up to making a big difference. But another easy way to help is just to learn more. We guarantee it. And the animals make it. But you're here in Disney's Animal Kingdom, so there are a lot of animals to go out there and find. If you have any questions, you can always come up to my windows and ask me. They are literally always open, but wherever your next ventures take you, just keep your eyes open, go explore, stay wild, like I said, and it's been such a pleasure to have you on board. Watch your hands and feet on the right as the doors open. Watch the step, double check the rows. Have a great day.
Slowest store ever.
Right there.
Yeah, she was really nice, and she actually took her time, it felt like, to see all the animals. That was fun. I haven't done the safari in quite some time. Beautiful day. On Valentine's Day? Sure, why not? I mean, any excuse to take a loved one to Disney, right? I don't know. It's so hard to predict because of the pandemic that we're in, you know, of what's going to be crowded or not.
Thank you for visiting us today. Just a few reminders. Face coverings must fully cover your nose and mouth and be worn at all times, except when actively eating or drinking while stationary. Guests that do not comply will be asked to leave. Clean your hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing.
Yeah, that tree of life is fantastic. No, right now I was surprised. I mean, but then again, it is what? Monday? Monday at the end of January. So this would typically, pre-COVID, be an off-season. But with the pandemic, and it's just kind of hard to tell nowadays what's going to be, you know, peak or not. Hi, Olivia. My name is Tony. How goes it? Where are the monkeys? Oh, there's just one I see. Oh no, I see two. Right there. Not really doing much, just hanging out. how long does it take me to get to the parks from where I live? Well, DAC is the closest, this park here. Roughly 20 minutes. Everything outside of that, 25 minutes to a half hour, depending on traffic. Universal is the farthest, going about 40, 45 minutes. Ah, monkeys. I like the blonde one. This one's just stretching. You're welcome, Sue. I like this random door. It's amazing. I just love it. It's for the refurbishment right now.
You can draw any animals you see or plants that are cool or something you could do to it out.
Oh, but Maryland's cool, man. I used to spend a lot of time in Maryland. Down in Ocean City, Maryland, hanging out on the boardwalk. Dude, I could tell you how many good times I've had with all the Russian workers there. Dude, used to hang out in that place all the time. Brass Balls and the Purple Moose were my most common hangouts in Ocean City, Maryland. Then we'd travel to Jersey sometimes because I taught Lisa at the time how to play some blackjack. And that's when I used to gamble for a living, literally for a living. And then we would cruise down to Baltimore because why would you not go to Baltimore? Baltimore is amazing. And I'm a big Edgar Allan Poe fan. So I'd go down there, tour his house, and just hang out and have a good time in Maryland, man. I love Maryland.
And Pluto? Wave to him. Wave high. Say wave high.
Their music wasn't that loud, so like I didn't even really know that there was like a boat cavalcade coming through.
For the health and safety of everyone, face coverings must fully cover your nose.
Let's go check out Pandora. See what's happening there. Am I going to ride any more rides? I'm not sure. Probably not. Because a lot of them are indoors and we just lag the whole time. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do that. Because you guys would be pissed. How did I end up in Florida? That is a good question. Well, I'm 36 or 37 years old. I'm not really sure. I have to ask Lisa. And we lived in Pennsylvania, you know, Philadelphia, my whole life, obviously. And I was working a lot. You know, my trade, if you will, for many years is a mason, you know, on restoration. So brick, block, and stonework is what I did, you know. I wasn't a laborer. I was up on a 200-foot boom lift. That's like a little 5x5 that you stand in by myself, just laying brick. Let me tell you, 5-mile-an-hour wind, 200 feet in the air, feels like 20. But anyways, I was on the road a lot. You know, I was getting paid really good money. You know, if I worked hospitals, schools, or even some highways, that was government jobs, which put me to $60-some an hour, you know? So anyways, Lisa was always home, and I was away from her. For about a day and a half a week, I would see her. And then the rest of the week, I'd be on the road, crashing at hotels. If I was in the area close to her parents, I'd crash there, you know, doing what I could do. And I just got tired. I really did. I got tired. Plus, I know many people will disagree with me about Pennsylvania, but I feel it was a state of no hope and no future. There was no future and no hope. And I called Lisa. I didn't even talk to her in person. I called her because I was away from her on work. And I said, hey, we're moving to Florida. And that's pretty much how it went. And I had like a list of pros and cons and whatnot about moving to Florida because I thought Lisa was going to fight me on it. And she was just like, okay. I guess she had the same feeling as well. But it really shocked me that she was so quick to say okay. For the fact that Lisa is a really big family person. Like, she's one of those that likes to be close with her family. Right? So, yeah, that was pretty much it. That's the story. That's how I ended up. And my parents, they live in Florida. So they've been living in Florida, you know, 8 years. I've been living here now about 3. So my parents, they let me crash with them, or they let us crash with them for a couple months because we didn't know the areas, you know. We didn't secure any jobs. That's right. We moved down here without any jobs, you know. We moved down here with roughly only $3,000 to our name. And so we came, they let us crash, get the job, secure them, save some money, find the areas that we like, and the rest is history, I guess, right? So that's the story. Sorry it was a little long and dragged out, but I like to tell a good story in fine detail. And people think that's a little crazy, or that would scare a lot of people coming down with no job secured, very little money to your name. But I like, F it, or heck it, however you want to say it. I like to live life in the fast lane. And I'd rather not live my life wondering. I like to just go. And I go in the moments. It's a curse and a blessing, I guess. Just depends on how you look at it. Exactly, one day at a time, man. One day at a time. I don't look back at the past because, forget that, it's done and gone. I don't look at the future too much because I'm not there. Day at a time. I wake up, set the bar low so I'm never disappointed throughout the day, and we just start living. Livin. Just having a good time. It's amazing that even Pandora is slow.